What up, loved ones? What it do? It's Young right here. You know where I'm from. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're new to this channel right here, just hit the subscribe button real quick. Give it a like if you think it's cool, if you think it's real. Hell yeah, man. Right now, I'm going to talk about my journey as to why I became a martial artist, recently. I'm talking about. To those who don't know, when I was a little kid, gang banging on the streets. I was like 13, 14, 15. And when I was 15 years old, that's when I finally caught a 14-year sentence in the California prison system. But before I got busted, when I was still gang banging on the streets, I used to think that the way you define somebody that's hard or somebody that's a gangster is somebody out there on the streets that's stabbing and shooting a lot of people. I thought those were the gangsters, But then, of course, when I started doing my time, I ended up spending over a decade in the 4-yard maximum security. My mind it just became something else. I grew up basically, and I realized that the only way that you can really define a real gangster, if he doesn't PC up in prison, if he was willing to die for the cause, because in prison is the only way you'll find out if he was a real gangster or not on the streets. I'm talking about in prison is the only way you'll find out, because that's where you're gonna get proven and tested, because a lot of folks in prison locked it up and PC it up. There used to be a so-called gangster on the streets. The streets don't count. You don't find out who's gangster on the streets, because even Snitch 9 is a gangster on the streets. Everybody a gangster on the streets. You know what I mean? Only way you find out is when you get proven and tested, and that only happens when you're in prison, in the main line, doing wartime, all that shit. You know what I mean? So, anyways, so I got out, and then 2016, and I was it's a new life for me, man, and it just so happens that I got invited into practicing arnis, eskrima, which is specifically called Calis Illustrissimo, and this is a blade weapon. This is a martial arts with weapons. So I started practicing under GM Pichi Baron Sagwin, and it was an honor for me to meet GM Boy Garcia over there, because the martial arts world is like, it's a small world. Everybody knows everybody. The same thing on the gang world. In the martial art world, it's the same thing. It's a small world, you know what I mean? So everyone's connected somehow. And as soon as I met Master or GM Boy Garcia, and for the few minutes that we were talking and he was teaching me just a little something about Yaw-Yan. Yaw-Yan, by the way, is a Filipino martial arts that was incorporated by Napoleon Fernandez in 1972. Napoleon Fernandez background, he was also a master in different kinds of arnis and eskrima and other kinds of martial arts background. But he decided that he wanted to make a martial arts empty hand specifically for Filipinos that are smaller guys, so we can fight and beat up on the bigger guys. So this is specifically for the Filipino. So Sayaw ng Kamatayan means dance of death, which is like I said, is an empty hand. It's similar. It's kickboxing, actually foot boxing, but we have a lot of weapons, more than the others, and we use, instead of just elbow, we use our whole arm, as if this was a sword, this was a stick, so we use everything basically. It's a deadly weapon. So anyway, so I met Master Boy Garcia, and then I just upon meeting him, I did my research about him, and everywhere I go, everybody knows him. I spoke to a lot of other people that are also MMA and kickboxing fighters. They all know him, they all respect him. And one thing I learned about him is that He was over 200 professional fights. Like I said, he is undefeated. For some reason, just nobody just can beat him. You know what I mean? Like, he teaches something different. He teaches something that's on a whole nother level. Like, for example, like in Muay Thai, when they teach you to kick, they teach you to logically, they teach you to swing your hands so you can have a stronger kick. But with GM Master Boy, he always teaching me, because I always forget that even when we roundhouse kick, our hands is still in the face. You know what I mean? We don't put our hands down, you know, because the logic of it is others are saying that when you swing your hand is stronger, but really because he's in a whole different level. You know what I mean? If you think that your kicks is stronger than him, even though he doesn't swing his arm, it's just different, all kinds of stuff, man. It's just one thing, just, you know what I mean? But what really made me fall in love with this specific martial arts is because of the creed. I was just watching YouTube, you know, searching everything I need to find out about Yaw-Yan, about this Filipino martial arts, which is the empty hand martial arts. And one thing that struck me in my heart and in my soul was this creed that they have, you know. And this creed goes something like this. For the Yaw-Yan, it says, "In these times of guns and knives, I travel in this world with nothing in my hands. If anyone comes to molest and evil begins to dominate, God is my only shield. Faith is my guide. Honor is my wealth. Truth is my fortune. And my only weapon is Yaw-Yan." You know, so anyways, I seen that creed, I read it, and it just went straight to my heart and my soul. And I've been practicing that ever since. You know what I mean? As a kid, I was always infatuated with the truth. I always questioned everything. Why is this thing happening? Or why are they rich? Why are we poor? Why is the world or the earth circle? I wanted to know everything. I'm that kind of guy. I question everything. I'm infatuated with the truth. You know what I mean? And in martial arts, everybody in their head, in their heart, they think that they're the truth. But what I like about martial arts is when somebody fights in the cage, this guy swears he's telling the truth, and this guy swears he's telling the truth. But at the end of the day, there's only one truth. You know what I mean? To the adults, they know that there's always my side, and there's always your side, and then there's always the truth. And I just love the truth. You know what I mean? So that's the reason. That's one of the reasons why I like martial arts, and also because martial arts is life. You know what I mean? A lot of folks are gonna sit there. Yeah, but you don't even really have that much muscles, man. You're not even that big. You're like what, 5'8", 5'9", and you got your shoes on. Like, you're skinny. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, nah, man, I'm gonna beat you up and you can't win. Everybody got that thinking, but in real life, that's just what they're doing in their head. But you know what I mean? The truth will still be the truth. You know what I mean? So, anyways, that's the reason why I chose the way of the warrior code. You know what I mean? I like that stuff because I would rather live my life as if there is a God and then die to find out that there isn't, than live my life as if there's no God and then die to find out that there is one. You know what I mean? That's my shit. So all of this correlates, you know. So that's why I chose the discipline of martial arts, because it helped me with pretty much everything. Shit, work in the corporate world, in a corporate office, I was able to use the art of war to everything, man. It matches everything because everything it's all about discipline, you know. So, you know what I mean? That's why I got the symbol of the Yaw-Yan right here, which is basically the creed that I said earlier. That when as soon as I found out about it, it touched my soul. So that's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. That's why martial arts is life. And if you want to do the same, if you want to do the same, man, just get at your boy whenever you're here in the Philippines or whatever. And I'm gonna talk about this some more because this is something that I've been practicing for about 2 years now. And recently, I just started sparring. Recently, you know, I'm getting better and better. So that's my experience in the martial arts world and shit, man. So yeah. And with that being said, you'll know what time it is. Say what you mean and mean what you say, because real recognize real, homeboy. I'm out of here, man.